What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Girl Don't Text Him, the podcast where we talk about healing, hustle, and why your last situationship was probably not your soulmate, okay? I am your host, Shells Yvette, and today we are joined by a woman who is truly doing it all.
Yes.
This is Khrissy B, you guys.
What's up?
Let me tell y'all about Khrissy. She is a powerhouse in the media world, the founder of an incredible annual music and media festival, now going into its 8th year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Year eight, a proud mom,
Yes.
and currently making waves working with Sway's Universe.
Yes.
Khrissy is the definition of booked, okay, blessed, okay. Let me tell you something.
Clocking that tea.
And I cannot wait to get into your story, your mindset, and your takes on dating a little bit. We're gonna get a little bit in there.
Thanks for having me, sis.
But let's get into my guest, Khrissy B. Big B, not the little one.
Not the little one.
Not the little
Hello?
one. So we are approaching BET weekend.
Yes.
I want to first get into music and media.
Okay, let's do it.
Because I know that it's like your baby.
It is.
I know that's like, I wanted to start the show off with something really big and something that's coming up.
Yes.
And I think, we talk so much offline, but I don't think I've ever like sat down with you in any space, just on the phone or anything, to talk about what's going on. So you're getting ready for it. I'm sorry, your 8th one. Just talk about that for a second before I get into the origin of how it happened. How does it feel to be on number 8?
It still feels like the beginning
Okay.
of planning music and media. Every year still feels like the very first event, which is interesting, right? Because again, year 8, but then I'm like 2 years from now, I'm on year 10. Like you've been doing this for a decade.
Yeah.
Started in 2017 with just really an idea. I literally just grabbed people I knew. I went in my phone book or, all of my contacts in my phone and literally just went down like, okay, who's in the music and entertainment space that I can call that would just do this for me off the strength.
But even the idea, like, did you always want to do festivals? Was it like, because sometimes the greatest ideas do come like in the spur of the moment where it's like, maybe I should do a little festival. Like, how did that happen for you?
It happened because I felt like I didn't have anywhere to go to learn about being in the industry. I always knew I wanted to be in music, but I didn't know how to break into music. We come from an era where you really had to know somebody.
Yeah,
there was
that's
no
very true.
there was no
Girl.
in the early late 90s, early 2000s, there was no social media.
No.
Like you really had to be outside or just already in the industry to even be invited to events.
Or interning, baby, because I was an intern,
Listen.
unpaid at that.
So back when I was growing up, okay?
Back in the days.
The magazines in the back used to have the addresses and phone numbers to certain labels.
Okay, wait, Khrissy, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. I'm a little older too, but I don't remember that.
Yes.
We not that far apart.
If you opened up like a double XL magazine back in the day or a Source magazine, I'm trying to think of all the hip hop magazines, but there were a lot of them. When you go to the very, very back of the magazine, again, they used to have the phone numbers and addresses to certain labels and certain companies within the music industry.
Okay, I remember the phone numbers. I didn't know you can call the industry.
Sometimes
label.
They have phone numbers and they have the address. So maybe like to the corporate office or to...
Because I do remember people's like coming up stories. Like Big Sean was one of the people like, oh, I went up to rap for Kanye.
They were there. Because I used to write letters and call all the time.
Yeah.
Because I was a teenager doing this.
Okay.
So I was in high school doing this in early 20s trying to figure out like, again, how do I intern? Because I knew I wanted to do it. And the blueprint for me starting out was always free. I always tell this story.
Yeah.
I used to run home and watch 106 in Park.
Of course.
I'm like, Jalissa, Lala, people don't know that's how she started. She started as a VJ. So we used to watch Lala, Jalissa.
It's your girl Lala.
Right. All of them. And I'm like, damn, she was so fly just interviewing artists and just giving out the media news and entertainment news. I'm like, I want to do this. I just knew I wanted to do this. Like, so... She was the blueprint for me. And then just kind of getting older, I'm like, damn, how do you break into this industry?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
And that was the origin of music and media because I feel like there was never a space for anybody to go to learn, to meet people. Like, I wanted to feel like a tangible experience.
Yeah.
To be able to just walk up to somebody inside of a networking event and talk to them and just learn. So that's exactly how it started.
As you're speaking to me, I just started thinking like and everyone isn't like this, but when you are like walking in like your purpose and your passion, the key thing to what you're doing is service.
Absolutely.
Like you are serving people.
I am.
Because
it's never been about me.
That's what I'm saying. So that's how, people are like, what's my purpose? What can I do? How can you serve someone? Because people want to like get so much stuff out of it, which you will.
Right.
You can get the sponsorships, you get the notoriety, all that good stuff. But like when you have something in your heart and you're thinking about something that you want to do, it's typically connected to servitude.
1,000%.
And I think people need to understand that. And because you didn't have it, you were like, how can I give it to others?
Exactly.
And I think that's why obviously it's flourishing. It's going to continue to get bigger because people be trying like, what can I get out of it? You know what I'm saying?
All
like,
the time.
what can I get? This
All
and this
the
and this and that, this and this and that. So
all the time.
On the 8th year is approaching, give us the dates too.
So it's Saturday, June 7th. So it's aligned with BET Weekend. So it will be in the mix of all the BET Award weekend activities, festivities, events. And it's going to be cracking.
Yeah,
it's always cracking. We're going to sell it out. We're going to pack it out. It's just, I'm very excited about our, panelists that are joining this year. Just to kind of name a few, I have Harmony H. Money Samuels, a huge Grammy Award winning singer, songwriter, producer. To know Harmony is to know he is the man. I have Miss Corey Renee, that's my girl. She works for K-Day, on air personality for K-Day. Gentry, over at Empire, he's running it up right now with 310 Baby. Very excited to have him flying in Wayno, so shout out to Wayno. Wayno.
Shout out Wayno.
Yep, he's a big, huge music, entertainment, media personality as well. And I have Curtis King. So, and there's a few more names too, but we're going to keep it a secret. I don't want to give it all up just yet, but those are a few panelists that are joining this year. And of course, we're acknowledging Chuck Dizzle. We are acknowledging Chuck Dizzle. I have a huge surprise for Chuck, and he's going to be so excited.
We love Chuck.
I hope he cries some thug tears. That's the goal.
Yeah, I would love to see that, actually.
That's the goal. So I have so much in store for Chuck just because I feel like he is overdue his flowers.
Oh, absolutely.
So we have a segment just for him, just to highlight him, honor him, and support him, and just to shine light on what he's been doing for the past 15 years.
Oh my gosh, Homegrown Radio. Shout out to Homegrown Radio.
Absolutely.
Out the apartment.
Right. Absolutely. So it's going to be so nice per usual. I have a small but great team. So shout out to Sammy and Nay, who are my production managers and my production assistant, who's been holding me down. Me and Nay been working together now for 3 years. And it's such a light when you can find people that finally understand what it is you're trying to do.
Nay is so good at her job.
Nay is great.
When I was like doing this.
Let me tell you something.
I called Nay. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. She was like, okay, this is what you do. This and this and da. Like her mind. Yes. Like she has a great production mind.
She absolutely does. And that's why I need someone like her.
Yeah.
Because
it's women. You know what I mean?
And I'm so anxiety driven too. So sometimes I could be all over the place.
I just came in here so frazzled.
And they like, Khrissy, I need you to bring it down.
Yes.
And you need that balance. But most importantly, it's about having people that understand exactly what it is that you're doing.
Yes.
And that can match the work ethic. I get people all the time asking me, how can I help you? And as soon as I give you a little assignment, you cannot even hold up to that standard. So stop asking me if I need help.
Oh, okay.
If you can't meet up to the assignment. No shade, no tea.
No shade,
but
no
it ain't
tea.
no shade, no tea.
Yeah.
But I just need real people that understand my vision, what it is that I'm doing, and that can really align with the work ethic, because that's what I need. It's not gonna be cute. This is not the cute part.
Yeah.
The day of the event, everybody's thinking, glitz and glam, networking, it's pretty inside. But y'all don't understand, like, I've been crying for 3 months.
So much work that goes into that.
I am broke. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're willing in sponsorships. We're trying to get people to believe in the vision, to give money, like dealing with vendors, dealing with talent, dealing with managers.
Yes.
It's only 3 of us.
That's why I'm like, kudos to you, because it's so much that goes on behind the scenes.
Yes.
Now, after the 8 years and everything that you've already done, like, what have you ever had a moment yet? Because it could be coming in the future where you were just like, damn, wow, I really do this. Like an aha moment, like, wow, this is my bag. Like, I do this.
I'm finally there, because I was so humble, and I'm still humble, but it's been like,
you need to pop it a little more.
I need people to say, I need to project more, like, stop playing with me.
Yeah. Oh,
and with a serious poker face, like, stop playing with me.
Period.
Because I have been so persistent and consistent in the pursuit of what it is I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I have been unapologetically myself throughout this whole entire process. I have not sold my soul for what it is I'm doing, and I'm very, very much so proud of that too.
Of course.
Because I'm taking the stairs. I'm taking the long way, and I'm okay with that.
That is the best way.
It is.
That is the best way.
It is.
Because Think about like your like the fast route. Just as fast as you can get up there, it can come crashing down.
It can.
And you know
and
what?
We've seen it. We've seen it.
Listen.
We've seen the rise and fall of some folks quick.
Yes. So for you now, like you're 8 years of doing something and it's just literally you. Mm-hmm. The first year was you, right? Like literally.
So
like
the first year, me and Bobby actually collaborated. Bobby made my decks and all my flyers.
Okay, shout out Bobby.
So the first couple of years, it was me and Bobby. And then we just kind of went our own separate ways. But music and media was always my baby. So I'm like, I'm keeping this going. You know, we gonna keep it pushing, keep it moving. The only year that there was a halt, it was obviously the pandemic. Mm-hmm. But even then, I still did some things virtual. Remember, we were on Skype and what was it? Zoom, all
kind of stuff.
Whatever it was virtual. Yeah. So I did some virtual. I did some virtual things during the pandemic, but that was the only, I would say, when we kind of had a setback in music and media, but it's been going ever since.
And just to think, Khrissy, you are working now, and then you're planning the event, and then Mother's Day is coming up this Sunday. Yes. So I definitely want to talk to you about that because I think you're just doing such an amazing job at being a mom.
Thank you.
I don't know a lot of moms, but there are certain people, like my guest I had last week, she's also a mom, and there are certain people that I see that I feel like I could be a parent just because of I see how you guys parent, her with her son and then you with Tori. Like, how do you like find that balance of doing all this? Because it's a lot, but then still trying to be a mom. And let me tell you something. This is something when I see Tori, I wanted to tell you this too. Like, I love the fact that you like still keep her a kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you keep her a kid.
And she's a kid's kid.
In a world where these kids look like adults.
She's a kid's kid.
They act like adults. She's still a kid. I love that. I think I just seen a picture of her recently. I said, Khrissy done put a little sweater on her. I said, she can't. But I love it because that's like
a little cardigan.
Yes, that's how we came up. That's what we came up like. We came with no sketty strap out. It was like you had to put something over.
And we got shorts underneath all of our dresses and skirts. Like, we're not doing that.
I said, Khrissy is going to make sure she stay age appropriate, but we don't see
Ruffle
that
socks. Much. If she could wear barrettes and bantus, I would still incorporate in a cute way. Tori is like, Mom, please, at this point.
When I was in 8th grade, I couldn't even get my nails done. So like, I like that you're still keeping those principles and those traditions with your daughter. And I love that I see her. She's with you when you're doing things because she's going to be able to say and tell her friends like, oh, my mom did all this. My mom did. I seen it like growing up.
Her dad too.
And it's like, how, like, do you feel like you found that balance or you're still like working through that?
I'm still working through it because now she has her own life and she wants to have her own life. She's getting ready to be 13 years old.
Oh yeah.
So my Virgo sis is like, Mom, I need you to let go a little bit.
And then there's boys.
She's talking to one now. I'm like, I'm in these DMs, like, excuse me, what you doing? I'm like, sir, it's 9:30 in the morning.
Why is he not at school?
See, I don't know that. He could be texting in the classroom. Tori ain't that. Okay? So let's not do that, you know, but of course I have a hold on all her stuff, her phone. I can see everything, you know, I'm tracking her. Yeah. I have all her accounts, access to all of her accounts. And I'm just like, what is going on? And she did call herself having a little boyfriend. I'm like, we don't have boyfriends. We have boys that are friends.
Period.
Okay. Yeah. He's not a boyfriend.
Establish that now.
Yeah. And I want to talk to his mom. Let's meet the mother. Let's meet the parents because we're not doing that.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember vividly exactly being her age and thinking I had a little boyfriend in middle school. You
did have a little boyfriend in middle school.
Okay, let's feel.
But I feel like we could. Well, I don't have a child, but I would feel like I would think about me and my child. And if you wasn't too crazy in middle school, I feel like it reflects down to your kid. Because I feel like inherently there's some reasons why some kids are how they are. Because I feel like when mom or somebody was growing up, like they had it too. Yep. So I feel like the only reason you know how to do these things as far as like keeping her a child is because it was instilled in you at some point. But boys start getting,
and I'm trying to be flexible with that because I understand what it is. I'm not trying to shelter her too much where she's not also learning life and learning life experiences because I need her. I want her to know how to talk to boys. Yeah. So we're going to sit down and we're going to have these conversations. I'm like, so did he compliment you today?
Period.
You know, did he so what are you guys talking about? Like, did he say good morning?
No, seriously.
These are the things I want her to look out for. So instead of saying, no, you can't talk to him, let's talk about what you guys are talking about and let's figure out how to navigate through this conversation. Because she's going to talk to him. Yeah. She's at school. I'm not knowing what's going on for 8 hours out of the day.
But Khrissy, like, see, that's the thing about being a mom. How did you feel like you knew how to do that? Like to say that?
Because my upbringing was the complete opposite.
Okay.
And the discipline action behind that was just we were sneaking. My mom, Tammy wasn't Tammy wasn't letting up until high school, you know, but she knew I had a little boyfriend, but it was still very hard.
Yeah.
You know, we were like, she started getting flexible maybe 9th and 10th grade with allowing boys to come over, but these were our friends, of course, from the neighborhood and from the block. But I just saw the disciplinary action behind like, oh, I think I got a boyfriend or whatever was harsh.
Well, aside from that, I mean, how do you know, like, to show her like what courting is? Because that's courting. Like,
because this is how I want to be treated.
Exactly, but like a 13-year-old boy don't really know to say good morning.
But I want her to know to look out for these things. And you can also tell him too, like, you know, I'm not saying coach him and teach him at 13, but you can coach him and teach him at 13. It's okay to speak up for yourself and to let somebody know how to treat you and how to talk to you. I
can't even imagine, because at 13, boys, not on girls, but boys are just like...
In middle school, the hormones are all over the place.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying like, boys have to be taught how to court too. You know, like, we're teaching daughters like how to receive courting, but it's like, I hope they are teaching young boys how to court, because the men
and how to
grown people are not courting. So, and approaching girls and all that other stuff. So it's like, it's like now, you know, she might go into the world. It's like, oh, yeah, she have high standards. Like, it's not high standards. It's the standard. You know what I mean?
Exactly, 1,000%. Even with hanging out, right? So I'm like, okay, if he wants to see you, so have his parents hit me or give me their phone number, and then we could plan a play date, right? I know you're about to be 13, but this is, you know, we can coexist in the same space with his parents, with me, and you guys can hang out, but we're doing it in a supervised space.
That's really smart.
So that she can still have... So she can still feel like she's living a little. I'm not trying to snatch that from her, because what I don't want her to do is to be sneaking out the house and lying to me about what she's doing and where she's going.
It may happen though, unfortunately.
It may, but I want to create the atmosphere and the environment for her to feel comfortable with talking to me about that kind of stuff. So that's where we're at. She talks to me about everything, at least I think. So
being a mom,
at least I think.
How do I know this is everything?
Our conversations are so open and honest right now. I don't feel like she's hiding anything.
Okay.
And when I ask her, I feel like she's giving me straight up answers.
Okay, that's good. That's good for now.
I'm just taking it for what it is right now, and then we'll deal with everything else as it comes. But this is just where we're at. And I'm loving the space right now with her. So
now, we didn't talk about Tori. Tori ain't here to stick up for herself. She a teenager. She at school. We need to get back to you.
Right.
So how has motherhood shifted your perspective on dating and the kind of love that you want?
Oh, that's such a great question. First of all, I'm very particular, as we all should be, about the kind of men that I date. And most importantly, bring around my daughter.
Yeah.
We're not doing the introduction. Tori, it's probably been...
Steve Harvey said after 3 months you're supposed to do it. That's what Steve Harvey said. I don't know. That's what Steve
I'm
Harvey
dating
said.
someone and they still haven't met, and we're going on 9 months.
Okay.
And we haven't made that intro yet. Okay. And I asked him if he was comfortable, if he was ready. He said absolutely, because of course Tori knows who he is, but we still haven't did that, like formal introduction, or maybe him coming over, or us maybe going out to a movie and doing something together.
That's the thing about dating with kids.
I know, it's tough, but he's 1,000% open to it and ready to it, because he's very, very close with, he doesn't have any children. Okay. But he's very close with his nephews.
First of all, every woman I know that's single with kids meets men without kids. I do not have a child. Every man I meet has 3.
Wow.
2, 4. Where do y'all be finding them at with no kids?
Well, let me tell you, I got lucky. When I tell you God's been listening, God has been hearing my cry for a long ass time.
That's good.
I mean, for a long ass time. And I'm going to stop saying, what did I do to deserve this? Because this is just my divine timing of absolutely finally finding the man.
Absolutely.
Right? Of finally finding the man. Absolutely. And it's no title, but we are exclusively dating each other. And it's just, we're very intentional about each other. There's so much emotional intelligence in this situation that I'm in. It's scary.
That's what you need.
Because I have never had anybody that I can fully communicate with, that understands how to talk and to communicate, that listens, that says, okay, I hear you, and here's my input. Like, we have such healthy First of all, we have never argued, and I don't think we ever will.
That's so good.
I don't think we ever will. There's no reason to argue, because we can talk talk normal and regular and not have to do all of that.
So it's like motherhood, it kind of, that's already one love, right? Yes. So then it helps you, or do you feel like it has helped you, like, in that dating space now?
It has, to some degree. You know, I also have for a long, always been too, keeping the situations kind of separate. You know what I'm saying? But I know how I want to be loved, you know, and I know how I want men to treat me in front of my daughter, which is most importantly.
And treat your daughter in the future.
1,000%. So It's always been tricky because outside of her dad, its situations have been kind of separate. I mean, of course, I've had two previous relationships where they met Tori and they brought, Tori into their space as well. So most importantly for me, it's about how this man treats me in front of my child. I mean, behind closed doors, just period though.
Yeah.
But how it looks to her.
Yes.
Because there's one boyfriend that she knew, she was like, oh, he cheated on you.
Wait a minute, Tori.
Tori was listening to all the conversations.
Wait a minute, Tori. Hold on now.
The walls were thin, okay?
I just said, Tori a kid. She's such a little child. Now Tori telling you.
Tori would hear the conversations, and it's not, and I would not talk to her about this stuff. I mean, I wouldn't talk about this stuff in front of her.
Of course.
But she did hear, and she could just see my personality. Like, I'm crying, I'm sad, I'm miserable. I can't always hide that. And sometimes mommy ain't feeling well today.
Yeah.
That's just what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And when you see seeing somebody around and now they're not, she's asking these questions like, oh, what happened to so-and-so?
Yeah.
Then I just have to have these honest conversations with her.
Yeah.
So she knew one particular situation. She was like, he cheated. She's like, I don't like him. He cheated on you. And I was like, okay.
Now, wait a minute now.
Hold up, sis.
Hold up,
sis. And I was like, okay. And she's like, well, did he? I was like, he did.
What? Okay, hold on. First of all, Tori.
Right.
Not confirming, did he?
But this is how intelligent she is already at 12.
But then you also
11,
creating
12
that
years
space
old.
for her to be able to talk to you.
And I need her to.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Like, this is my little friend. This really is my little friend. And no, she's not an adult, but there's still a mature way we can have the conversation.
Very true.
So I want her to know.
And you were like, yeah.
And I was surprised that we were really sitting down having this conversation.
But see, that's good because that exposes her to why it's not okay.
Exactly.
And why you don't need to experience this and why you don't need to even allow that.
I always tell her, I'm like, men can intentionally be about you and you only. Don't ever make him feel like you can't be the only one or exclusive or you're not enough.
That's important for little girls to hear.
Because she's going through an identity crisis.
And I don't think, I know that as an adult, but I don't think my mom ever literally said those words.
I know.
So for you to pour into her and say that, that's so good. I feel like I can only speak for myself, you find that out in a roundabout way, or, growing up, I seen the things that happened to my friends and I was like, oh, I don't want to go through that. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So now she's going to hear that. And I think that's so good because I think we have to build up our daughters, build up little
1,000%.
girls, especially with this generation, because the stuff they online.
They are online. And I think it's also important, most importantly, is to be honest with them. No, we're trying to, but they already seen it. They're already exposed to it.
Yeah.
So it's still I wish I could protect her for the rest of my life. Yeah. I wish I could just take her social media from her. I wish she couldn't see anything and be so oblivious to it, right? Yeah. But that's not the reality of the situation.
And that's not why I'm not a mom. Because I feel like I would be that way. I would
because
really
I feel like I would show
that
to her so much that it would drive her insane. But that's really deep down internally how I want to be with her.
Yeah.
I don't want her to see anything. I don't want her to be exposed to anything.
I know, for real. I mean, in a perfect world, you want your child, whether you have a son, daughter, you want to shield them.
I'm so over it, right? Yeah. I'm so over it. I'm just so afraid of her wanting to try something because she's seeing it online. But that's not the reality. So I'm like, okay, the only thing you can do is just to have conversation with her about it. And pray that when she leaves the house and when you two part ways, that she's listening to you in the back of her head and she's being obedient and she's making the right decisions. Yeah. And she's just being smart, because we're always not going to be together. So
you're not. But you only can teach them a certain way and just, hope and pray that they take everything you instilled in them.
That's what we did. We not necessarily following our parents' disciplinary.
No.
Like, Mom, sorry, but
no.
We just went our own ways and we did what we felt was best for us.
Yeah.
We still have those core values and morals there.
For sure.
They're still planted.
For sure.
We did our own thing.
We did. And I feel like I turned out okay. I don't know. It could be worse.
Right.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I turned out okay.
1,000%.
But I do want to shift gears for a second because, I can talk about Tori all day. We can just talk about being a mom all day.
1,000%.
Okay, so we need to support the little girls. We do this and this and that. But I do want to shift gears for a second and talk about Sway's universe.
Yes.
Because I am so proud of you.
Thank you, girl.
Sway is
Sway is the GOAT.
Sway is the GOAT. So you need to tell us how that opportunity came about.
Wow. Okay, so the whole origin and start of Sway period was Head bringing Ginaverse and Gina's platform to Sway's universe.
Oh, so you were producing. I'll let you tell the story.
So I'm Gina's producer for the Ginaverse Cyphers, right? So there was some synergy there where Sway and Head kind of aligned, that being a home for, the Geniverse Cyphers. So being the producer on that show, I was working close with Sway, and I was working close with one of Sway's assistants. Shout out to Reggie, and as the producer. So I'm the connect. I'm the behind the scene, connecting the dots, booking talent, just working with them very closely because Gina's talent. She's showing up, but there's behind the work scenes that needs behind the scenes work that needs to be done.
Oh yes.
So that was my job. So just that the relationship started from there.
Okay.
Relationship started from there.
Like you were just seeing them.
I was talking to him. I mean, just talking to him all the time. Like, Sway, of course, is originally, not originally, but he was worked and based in New York. Okay. So just a lot of phone conversations and emails being exchanged, phone calls just about, the productions and, when it's time to shoot, I'm sending them over stuff, we're talking. But anytime he came into LA, he's like, we created a relationship now at this point. Good. We have a relationship.
Let's talk about that for a second. Yes. Especially in this industry, entertainment, music, whatever you want to do. How important are relationships?
Girl, it's all about relationships.
Okay, but it's real relationships. Like, we're going to get into that because not social climbing relationships, not transactional.
Genuine ones.
Just building genuine ones.
And that's exactly what this is.
You didn't go in active for nothing. You wasn't like, hey, da-da-da-da. You were just
and all my relationships were just that. Okay. Genuine ones. And I've always, even if I wanted to have the nudge, like, oh my God, I want to work for this person. I want to ask. I just sat down and play my position. How can I help you? In a genuine way, though. Because I'm a student of the game first.
Absolutely.
I'm a student of the game first. So in a genuine way, how can I sincerely help what you're doing? I always brought ideas. I'm always bringing...
Because this is advice for people listening.
Synergy or whatever it's for, like, I can bring to whatever platform or whatever it is I want to be a part of. I'm going to say, what can I do for you? And let me learn first.
And nobody's bigger than the program.
Nobody's bigger than the program. Until this day, being 15 years in it, I'm still not bigger than the program. I would, if it's a company I want to go work for, I'm going to go intern. If I have to, I'm going to still go do that job. If they say, you know what, it's a week without pay, I'm going to go show up every single day on time.
Kids are not doing that. If it's not a dollar connected to it, I'm telling you, I spent 10 years of a lot of unpaid work. Yeah. But they need that grit.
Let me tell you.
But they will not do it.
I know.
The kids today will be
I'm
like,
not going to be taken advantage of, but I will do the work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I will do the work, especially if it aligns with my vision and what it is I'm trying to do.
You did, because then let's talk about the transition to how you work with them, how you built that trust through the relationship.
Yeah. So basically from there, it was, again, just a genuine relationship being built. And I just saw this void. So of course, being a part of Sway's universe already, that's where the Geniverse Cyphers were planted. I'm like, there's a void. I'm like, there are no West Coast correspondents, media correspondents. So I'm like, hey y'all.
Hello, I'm here.
Hey Sway. Hey Reggie.
No, really, seriously.
And they were like, no better person.
Yeah.
It was that, when I tell you it was that simple, I cried that day.
Of course.
Like after the conversation was, because it happened so quick.
Of course.
They were like, wait, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's figure out what that looks like. Yeah. And then let's start just, here's your login information the next week.
And see,
so
the thing
it
about
was that fast.
You had built a relationship, that's one. And then two, you had a work ethic that backed it.
1,000%.
And then you saw an opportunity and an open door. Those are the steps in the building blocks to getting something. You need to have the work ethic. Yep. You need to come in with servitude. Yep. Don't go in asking for something first. We want to come in like, oh, or have this entitlement feeling like, why nobody asked me, And that's not what happens. Yep. Kendrick said, keep your head down and work like I do.
Listen.
Understand.
And that's really it. So it was a quick and easy yes.
Yeah.
And then we just started building what it is I'm going to do within that.
But see, it was a quick and building yes because it was you.
Yeah.
And you showed up. You did the work. It's not always a quick and easy yes for everybody. Yeah. So one, I want you to understand that the favor that's on your life from God. Let's start there.
Thank you.
And the work ethic, because I know sometimes like when things happen to us, it's like we don't have time to relish in it because it's like experiencing it. But like you have to have somebody outside telling you, like me, like, things don't happen for people like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to have people tell me like, Rochelle, people don't be, and I'd be like, they don't? Like, I don't know. I just, I saw the opportunity. That don't be happening for everybody. So, like it was a quick and easy yes because it was your yes. And I think people need to understand and wait for their yes too. Yeah. And I also want to talk to you about that because like you're up under him. You're in this space now. You're in this series building. You're doing all this stuff. It's like, so far, like what have you learned or like a lesson like from Sway or this experience that you didn't go into it with because you were just, had your head down and working?
Sway's 1,000% professional.
Okay.
Like, I would say this, it's like a balance between street knowledge, but professionalism, if you know where I'm going with this.
Yes.
Sway is that.
Pockets, yes.
You're not gonna play with Sway.
Yeah.
You're not gonna play with his name.
Yeah.
But he also is professional.
I love that.
So he has this heavy balance, which you will never disrespect him.
Yeah.
And he doesn't support or project anything disrespectful on his platform.
Yeah.
There's nothing gossipy on Sway's universe.
I love that.
And we need that, and we know where to go for that, right?
Of course.
We know where to go for that. But he's all about really 1,000% supporting the craft.
Yeah.
We're not talking about nothing else but the craft.
Of course.
And we're uplifting you. And I
Yeah.
think that's so important too. And not that I'm a music hip hop head. That's what's rooted in me. I would love to talk about hip hop. If I could talk about hip hop, I'll be so happy if I was in this space for the rest of my life. And I mean that. Like, because I just love entertainment. I love hip hop. I love rap. I just love this industry that I'm in and what I'm surrounded by. And that's where he comes from. He comes from that. So, it's really just the professionalism. And he'll say, like, you know what? We're not going to do this, but we're going to do it this way.
Okay.
And there's certain examples that he has given me that of course, we're not going to share on camera. But it's just, I'm like, damn, I didn't think about it that way. But he's always just giving me pointers and tips on how to approach. He's like, come sit in the studio with me because I want you to hear these questions that I'm asking, and how I'm asking them is key. And how I'm asking them is key. So there's a difference between the way you're doing it and the way that we've been doing it that sounds very professional, that's going to get the right answers, and people are going to actually answer the questions without skating around them. So it's a real technique behind this.
Of course.
It's a formula behind this, right? And I'm talking about, and he's like, I want you to be so good at this that you can talk to a UFC boxer, you can talk to somebody in rap, you can talk to an actress, you can talk to a chef.
Yeah.
Because your content and the way you're going to ask these questions, you're going to be able to talk to anybody.
And the thing is, Khrissy, he doesn't have to do this. He could just have you as another person in the building. So that shows a lot about Sway. And it shows a lot about you. In 2010, when I first started in radio, I don't know what I tweeted about Sway, but then he had tweeted, I still have it in my phone because I treated like gold.
Yes.
2010, January 28, 2010, he said, shout out to a rising star.
Yes.
And then he added me on Twitter. And I was just like, I didn't even know him. I had never seen him before.
But that's how he is.
And to see him show up in your life in this way, it just proves what he said to me back then. And then take it a step forward. I don't want to stay here too long because we have so much to talk about, but entertainment, music specifically, is a male-dominated industry.
It is.
And being a woman in this space is not easy. You have to have thick skin. You have to have a lot of grit. You have to be respected. So for Sway to show up as a man who's been in the game, who could be any way, but he is very kind, respectful, and still professional. And
but it feels like big brother, like uncle. Like he gives that love and still shows you so much warmth. It doesn't feel industry at all. This feels like this is Uncle Sway.
No,
like,
for real, Unc.
This is Unc.
Yeah.
It's so relatable and so warm and just so much love.
Yeah.
It's not industry driven at all.
And he's such a pioneer. That's what I'm saying. Like, and that's why he has been so successful.
Yeah.
Because when you walk around like that and you have that type of heart and that type of kindness, God just blesses you tenfold. Some people want to come in entertainment, music, whatever, puff chests out, be disrespectful to women, feel like they're bigger than the program, and you see where their careers go. You see what happens. So just shout out to Sway, because you being there, like he said, like there's no other perfect person to be there.
So anytime he says anything, I'm listening, hard listening. Like, okay, I got my ears open. Like I want to learn. And if I'm going to learn from anybody, it's learning from you. It doesn't get any bigger than you. Not in my eyes. So
you got to keep that hunger. Too, because sometimes we get to places and it's like, okay, I'm here, I'm in the door, but it's like you have to stay hungry. Like that's like I just think about Kendrick. I talk about Kendrick all day, but like it's just that type of hunger. Like you still need like to do more. But I'm so glad you're there. Like it's just it feels like that next step for you, and then there's like a step after that.
It's so close.
Now with that being said, everything going on, Sway Universe, working under Sway, doing a music and media festival. Is it I don't know how I'm gonna frame this. We talk about,
come on, Shell. You don't be holding back no other time. Come on, sis.
Dating is hard doing that. So without giving so much information, have you found, or do you feel like you found a partner where that's not intimidating too?
Yes.
Because as a woman that also has things going on,
Yes.
that is my number one thing. Like finding somebody that supports that.
Yeah.
And you have that.
Yes.
Period.
I found it.
I love
and you're
that.
talking about somebody that understands it to a T. I'm talking about
I love
somebody
it.
that understands
Delicious.
so well. He's like, okay, let me tell you what to do. Let me guide you. Here's some advice. Here's some pointers.
I love it.
Let's walk through this together.
I love it.
Like he has like I forgot how he worded it, but he's just like he always, and he's just so good with just compliment. And I be wanting to cry because it just feels so surreal sometimes.
Yeah.
But he's just like, you radiate and you're doing so well in your space.
I love that.
And we've been to a few things together, and we will continue to do things together in this space. But he's just such a like light walking with me through this. It's like so refreshing. I can't even explain it. Like I have never had this ever.
Yeah.
As a 40-year-old woman, I have never had this.
Yeah.
And he's the sign that everybody hates, right? He's the Scorpio.
Oh wait, no, I like Scorpio.
I know, but everybody talks about him like this. I'm like, I'm a Capricorn. So our Capricorn Scorpio thing is dynamic.
Yeah.
It works for us.
Yeah, I think Scorpios are great.
It works because that Scorpio energy, it kind of like, and I can finally feel soft.
Yeah. That's good.
There's so much masculine energy that I have been projecting and and it's not even intentional. It's just because of the spaces that we're in.
Yeah.
We have to have the poker face we've been doing it and grinding so long, and ain't nobody came in and said, you know what, sit down and let me help take some of this weight off of you.
Yeah.
We haven't had that yet.
Yeah.
And I finally have somebody, and going into this situation with him and dating where it's like, I can help you.
Yeah.
Because he's in it himself and been in it and knows how to navigate and maneuver in it.
How are you with receiving the help though? Is that still like a space you feel like, because
just like it's been tough.
Yeah.
But now I'm fine. I've been with this situation, I let go. Like I'm finally open and receiving it because he has made me feel very safe and vulnerable and soft.
And see, that's the key thing when it comes to dating. Like, you see all the conversations online, like, oh, masculine energy women, but it's like, that could go away once that space is created. Like that, like you said, like being in this industry or having to do these things or be upfront, all this stuff, like that's what comes with it because we have to do it alone.
Yes.
But women don't want to walk around like just hard body all day.
I keep saying that. Let's stop trying to act like we want to be independent women. I can do it all by myself because that shit is played out.
It's so played.
That's played out.
It's so played.
Because you really don't.
No.
Because you really don't. So let's stop projecting like I can do this all by myself, independent woman. And we know that. We've been doing it for years. The strong black woman thing, I am so tired. Tired of it. I don't want to be a strong black woman anymore.
We need partnership. When the
Yes,
earth was
I'm
created,
so
there
over
was
that.
Adam and Eve, because there was two people. Like, and you get to a certain age and point in your life where you've done it alone, especially as women, especially working in entertainment and having to be in these spaces and be a mom or whatever, where you're just like, okay, I've reached a threshold, and that's how I feel. And I've been praying, and I feel like I'm gonna receive my person because I'm like, I've done everything I could do, but you get to a point, and I even heard like TD Jake say this too. It's like you get to a point in life where you cannot get to the next season alone. Like you just can't. Like you just need somebody, whether it's a team, you have that now, whether it's a partner, whether it's anybody, like, like you said, the strong black woman thing, or just walking around like having to do, I got to do it by myself. I don't want to do it by myself. So the reason I asked you about like, how are you with receiving is because it's like, we also have to get better on that side too, where it's like, okay, I can let my hair down. I can trust this person, whether it's production or romantically, like to help me.
And this is the one situation where I finally, like you said, been able to receive it because he has made me feel comfortable and safe in the space with him. Yeah. And now as women, what do we want to do? We want to naturally nurture.
Yep.
Like I want to take, I'm like, what do you need?
Exactly.
Like I'm so big on how can I help lift some of the weight off of your life? I want to be his peace.
Yep.
I do.
And that comes from what?
Because he's created that space for me.
Thank you.
Like he's created that space for me. So I'm like, whatever it is, like at this point, like it's like whatever you need from me, I'm going to times 10 it. You know what I mean? Because you have made me feel so whole.
And I think
and valued and loved, and
that's the misunderstanding.
And the personal, and then we're friends.
Yeah,
we're friends. The relationship was built off of friendship. He's been in my face
Which is important.
He's been in my face for years, and we just been homies. Important. He was bro once upon a time, you know. So he was bro. And he was like, "You broed me." I was like, "Okay."
I mean, sometimes it's just not the right season, so it's like
we hang out as friends. We're friends first. We laugh, talk, and around as friends. So that dynamic is just there.
So you can sometimes, not all the time, you can go from bro to boo.
You can.
You can go from bro to boo, but you only can go from bro to boo because one thing too, like alignment is not right, timing, situation, all these things. So it's like some people are like, that's like my brother, and then it's like, okay, yeah, right. But it's like at the time it was like my brother. I didn't see. You know what's so funny? People always say, and I was so anti this, but this maybe you might be able to relate. People be like, oh, your person has already been in your face. I said, my person ain't never been in my face.
Here's the thing, though. It could be, but you're probably overlooking him.
No, baby, I can tell you right now, there's nobody. There's nobody right
now.
Sure? I'm positive. Okay. God.
Because we all, and
but I don't want the ones I see.
Because we're looking for the obvious. We have these types and these type of guys that we're looking for.
That's true.
But we have to step outside of that, too.
That's very true.
We have to stop that. That's our problem too, is that we have this type, I want him to stop right now.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying dumb down your standards.
No,
I'm not saying go for the ugly duckling or whatever. I'm not saying that.
Let me say something. Where's my camera? Right here. If he has to grow on you appearance-wise, it's going to be a problem.
It's going to be a problem. Now, that I'm not budging on.
Yeah, you should be. I'm not budging
on that.
He doesn't have to be attractive to the world, but
I'm not budging on that.
You should find him attractive.
1,000%.
He grew on me.
No, I'm not budging on that.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
But there's some other things too. I'll also say in a situation, you have to kind of, when things happen in the situation or things occur, it could be like a personality flaw, right? Okay. Figure out what it is that you're willing to deal with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Know who you're dealing with and figure out what it is that you were willing to deal with. Because we all got something. I got something.
Course.
You got something.
Yeah.
The men that we dated got something. So figure out what it is that you can deal with and work with that.
Yeah.
That's the problem too. Oh, the nigga snores at night. So, okay, but does he meet everything? Shells. Okay, so you're one of those.
No.
That face told it all.
I'm not one of those. I just have an anti-snoring rule because only reason this is why, and we could work through it.
So if he checked off all the boxes, but he snored at night, so you're going to not deal with this man anymore because he snores?
No, but I was going to say I have a problem with snoring because I have a big problem with my sleep being interrupted.
Okay.
So going to like those non-negotiables, like I had an ex-boyfriend who slept with the TV on every night.
I hate that.
I never got full. I never got full sleep.
Yeah, I hate that.
So it's like those scenarios where it's like like how we grew up is so different. If it's like if somebody's like, I absolutely have to sleep with the TV and I don't, what am I supposed to do? Go in the living room, put some earmuffs in? That's just kind of hard. Mm-hmm. But I'm not saying I was not date somebody because of that, but I think about things like my sleep is so important to me. And it's like, damn, the TV, the glare, the light, that's kind of like,
hate that. I don't
that's what I'm saying. But to your point, I do understand what you're saying.
That specific thing, I think you can just be like, tonight, please, can we turn off the TV?
Every night. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I
need you to turn off the TV. And I think he would be like, okay, not a big deal.
I think you're right. But I mean, I haven't got into that yet. But I do love where we're going with this because I have a section that I want to play with you.
Let's
before
do it.
we go.
Okay,
so this section is new, okay? This is a new segment. Sorry, not section. A new segment. And this one is called Text Him or Next Him. Ew. Okay? And I'm going to give you some rapid fire scenarios. And you just immediately, your first thought, you're going to tell me, are you going to text him or are you going to next him? Okay,
let's do it.
So number one, he still lives with his ex, claimed they're strictly roommates.
Girl, next.
Okay.
Next.
Okay. He sends good morning texts, but only replies at night. You wait too long. He only
it's a 50-50.
He only sends good morning texts, but he sends good morning texts. So he says good morning, but he only replies at night. So he texts you at 7 a.m., but you don't hear from him again until
the evening.
Until 10 p.m.
This is consistently?
Yes. Text him or next him. 5.
Next.
Okay.
But go ahead.
But what? Why is he always missing for 10 hours?
Okay. But what if he got a demanded job? I'm always, trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm a benefit of the doubter. I'm just not going to, because I know men that are really busy in that space and I'm not going to
God bless you.
I know. Okay, next. Go next question.
Well, and the reason I'm saying God bless you is because I feel like everybody on their phone and I'm a
benefit of I get it. But I'm also too not going to if the good outweighs the bad, I'm not gonna sit here and be, down him and boy, bye, because I don't hear from you.
I love that.
I'm just not. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
And that's why you have a boo and I don't, because I don't do that. He has no social media at all. Text him or next him.
Oh, I love that. Text him.
I hate that.
I'm going for it.
No, you guys, see, this is why I try to tell the girlies.
No, that's the
social
thing.
media is a red flag.
No, it's not. How?
Because let me tell you.
I know some niggas that got the bag that don't have social media. Because they're not involved in all the... No. Okay, texting that man. I love it. There's no distractions.
That's what y'all think.
There's no
That's what they want you to think. A no social media man wants you to think that he is out here just working and grinding, but he is not. I am telling you.
Shells, no.
I am okay. We'll skip because we don't have enough time for that. Okay, number 4.
I'm sorry.
He's a 10.
Okay.
But he's never been in a relationship before.
Next. That's a red flag. He's a 10, but never been in a relationship?
He's never had a girlfriend. It's giving commitment for.
What does that mean?
Like he's never had a girlfriend.
I know, but there's a problem with that.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
Something's happening here.
Yeah, that is weird.
I don't know why, but I don't know what. Are you in love with your mom?
Okay, wait a minute, Khrissy.
Not literally.
But like a mama's boy.
Like a mama's boy. Like what's up?
Or he could just have
is there interference somewhere?
Or he could just have like a huge fear of commitment, which is also a red flag. If you're scared to commit.
You're not even trying.
Yeah, you didn't even try.
So he's a situation shipper.
Which we don't even do those.
We don't do those.
We don't do those. Okay. The next one, he only wants to FaceTime and not text.
I love that.
You love that?
Text him.
Okay.
Because guys ain't FaceTiming.
That's very true. That's
cute.
Like,
you want to see my face?
Yeah. Like all day. That's kind of cute. He's super fine, but he's shorter than you in heels. Text him or next him.
I've had one of those, a couple. So
Short King. Shout out to the Short Kings.
Text.
Okay. I'd
rather not though, but
I don't like short guys.
I've had an ex. I have an ex that's shorter than me, and he loved when I put on the heels and
yeah, they like that kind of stuff. Oh,
you're so tall. You're tall. You so tall. It's crazy.
You're tall about her.
What's his name? Kevin Hart and his wife.
Oh yeah.
Like let's not.
Which is crazy. Okay, the next one. He refers to all his exes as crazy.
Girl, next.
Yeah, because
this red flag. You're probably the one.
You're probably the one.
And you're not telling the full story.
They never tell the full story. You're not telling the full story. Ever.
Where's your side of the story?
Exactly.
Come on now.
Okay, he's super into astrology and asks for your birth time immediately.
I love astrology. I'm not that deep into it, so I'm a 50-50, but I might text him because I want to hear what he got to say.
Yeah.
I like astrology.
But I feel like if he knows astrology, he's dated a lot of girls. Because why are you into, how do you know birth charts and times?
I'm not too mad at that.
Yeah.
Read me down.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's like, I feel like a lot of the knowledge about things like that, like men get from girls.
They do.
Like he didn't just wake up and know about astrology. Yeah. He had to be like.
Absolutely.
And
then took it upon himself to do his own research, but I'm not mad at that.
Okay. The next one, he's your type, but he's known as a situationship guy.
I'm a text.
But he's known as a situation guy.
I'm a text.
Oh, Miss benefit of the doubt here. To see what? If it go into a situationship? Okay, the last one.
He's my type. Let me just see.
Okay.
And here's the thing. If I don't like it, I'm going to leave too.
That's true.
I don't have to stay.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. The last one is his face card is a 10, but his dressing is a 2.
I can work with the dressing. I can work with the dressing because I feel like if a man is open to it, I'll buy him whatever. That's easy. Text. We're not passing that up. We can work with the wardrobe. That's fixable.
Okay.
That's fixable.
Okay. I'll give you that. You passed the rapid fire. It was a few texts in there, not any next in there, but we are about to close out.
Yes.
So I do want you to give all your stuff. Let's talk about music media, where it's at, the time, where they can purchase tickets at, and then give your socials.
Okay. Well, again, I'm Khrissy B. Thanks for having me, Shells. I appreciate you so much. 8th Annual Music and Media, June 7th at Prospect Park, downtown LA. Be there. Tickets are on sale now in my bio. You can follow me on Instagram at I am Khrissy, KHRISSYB. And on Twitter, I think it's Khrissy_B. I'm trying to line everything up, but somebody got the Khrissy B already on Twitter. But and now I'm Googleable, so you can Googleable. I don't know if that's a word, but I am on Google. So you want to type in Khrissy B. I will pop up on Google. My website, Nina Deuce, is on there. Music and media information is on there. The Sway's Universe. content is on there. I got a YouTube channel. You can type in Khrissy B across
Period.
on the YouTube.
Period.
That's where you can
find it on
me.
LinkedIn.
Right, LinkedIn.
No, everything.
I'm on LinkedIn, everything across the board. But yes, I'm just aligning myself with what it is God wants me to do.
Amen.
That's it. It's
Amen.
that simple. I just wake up. I try to really sit still and really listen to that voice and follow that. That's it. That's all I'm doing.
So I like to
God's
leave.
divine timing.
Always. I always like to leave with like a fill in the blank as a piece of advice for people. So the first fill in the blank is girl, don't. And you finish it.
Okay. Let me think. Girl, okay.
Girl, don't.
Settle.
Periods.
Don't settle.
And girl, do.
Believe in yourself.
Okay, period. That was kind of cute. I kind of like that one. You kind of ate that.
Ate it quickly. You know, I have to be quick on my toes.
No, you know, like girl, don't settle. Girl,
and believe
do.
in yourself.
Believe
you are
in yourself.
Her.
No, seriously.
I need us to look in the mirror, especially Black women.
Yeah.
And stop downing ourselves. We
Yeah,
are.
look into your camera because we're gonna cut
we
that.
We are our biggest critics, worst critics. I need you to look in the mirror every day and say, "You are that bitch."
Period.
You are her.
Period.
You are her. And I know it sounds cliche, but you absolutely do have to believe in yourself. And we have too much already that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
So wake up every morning, pop your shit, because I'm about to do it. I'm doing it.
Pop it
We're
and pop it hard.
Yep. And I don't care who likes it or not. We are going to start loving on ourselves, loving on our friends, leaning more into our village.
Yes.
And again, just believing in ourselves and what we're capable of doing and what we can do.
And don't allow your circumstances to dictate. Don't allow the external to dictate internal.
I love
because
that.
A lot
That's
of times
so important.
We allow our circumstances. You know, things sometimes are just not going to work out. Relationships aren't going to work out. Opportunities are not going to work out. But we can't let the exterior affect our interior because, to your point of thinking that you're that girl, you have to know that regardless if anybody is checking for you or not, which is important. Like, don't put all your eggs and your faith into outside things, opportunities, jobs, relationships, any of that stuff. Like, your time will come.
That. And if it doesn't work out, it's okay to take a step back and regroup. I believe in that too. Like, I've had a hard time because, again, just talking about anxiety. Like, I've been anxiety driven for years.
Yeah.
I could not come down from it. I'm talking about to the point where I'm shaking, having tremors every day because I'm just like, I'm so just all over the place. And just like, you have to, it's okay to just, okay, y'all, I need a week.
Rest.
I'm talking about stay at home, binge, be ugly for a week or whatever that looks like. You know what I'm saying? Just like go to the gym, work out, spend time with yourself. It took a long time for me to look at myself and feel good about myself.
And people don't talk about that. And I hate that you brought it up right now because I could go like, really?
Like,
that's
it took a long time to identify with who I am.
People do not understand that. Like, you know, we walk through this earth and there are moments where we feel good about ourselves, but we're talking about feeling good about yourself 100% of the time, regardless who here, who not, what's not, this and this and that. And you get to a point, and if you are young and you're watching and you're listening and you're not at that point yet, that's okay. Because I didn't get to that point 100%. Until 30 over 35, and now you over 35.
Same.
You know, you get to that age where you don't say the age no more. Sometimes you do. You say
I'm okay. I'm 40, and I feel like
you could say 40. I feel like the age between 35 and 40, people you be like, I'm in my 30s. But when you get to 40, you so proud. So you're like, I'm 40.
Proud of 40.
But when I get to my age, I'm like, I'm a few years there.
I'm 30. I'm still, you know,
I'm still 30.
I'm out here.
But we are. Woo, I can chat. But woo, we are running out of time. That was so good. Shout out, Khrissy. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. And I see you too.
Oh, okay.
We
see each other.
Don't do it yet.
Thank you.
But you have been moving in this space for a long time too. So it's really, I see you.
Thank you.
No, we do. We all do.
Thank you.
You know, like you are. You add so much light to our timelines too.
Thank you.
We do. Okay.
I talked about receiving, and I'm like, okay.
No, you do add so much light, and I love watching you.
Thank you.
I love watching you in your space.
I appreciate.
I mean, anytime I'm in the room with Shells, I know it's gonna be a good time. Okay, stomach gonna be hurting because Shells is gonna bring the laughs.
And that also
you gonna bring the laughs.
I had to get to a place. I'm carrying it over, and we're all over the place. We can. fix it in post. But I had to get to a place with understanding and accepting, being okay that my personality is big like that. And that's why I feel like a part of my singleness is because every man is not going to be okay with that. I walk in the room and I'm bopping around, talking to everybody, men, women. I have to have a partner that be like, that shit, I'll let her go. I just let her go. You know what I'm saying? And be okay.
And you're going to meet your match and it's going to be so
But he had to be calm.
good.
He can't be me because that's too...
I'm saying you're matches to somebody that's my girl. Let me let her go.
Yeah,
that ain't gonna be intimidated by it.
Yeah, she gonna walk around. She gonna be laughing.
She gonna be like, when we get home, it's gonna be. He's just. When I say meet your match, it's because he's gonna know exactly who you are. He's gonna understand exactly what it is that you're doing, and he just ain't gonna be tripping. Yeah, he's not gonna trip.
And to your point of view, saying like I feel good, you're saying like you at a place where you feel good about yourself. I've been in spaces where there was work, where there's opportunities, where the relationship, where having a big personality is not exciting to everybody, and I had to accept that doesn't mean that I tone my personality down because the next person is not excited about it, or it might intimidate somebody. It was like most people are shy and they're like, who is this girl coming in here being all loud and boisterous and jovial and talking to people? And I had to be like okay with that. And there are things that happened to me as of late, even last year, where like that was not accepted, by people. Like I wasn't received well. And it's like, I did get to the point where I was like, dang, should I have not said that? Then I was like, hell no. Like people's insecurity is not your problem. And that's just the bottom line to it. Like keep your personality big, strong, whatever it needs to be. And just be yourself and know that you're that girl regardless of how you are. But let me get out of here. So if you love if you love this episode, and I know you did, make sure to follow her, support her upcoming music and media festival, tap into all the amazing things she has going on. And always, if you are thinking about texting him after this episode, maybe just play it back. Remind yourself why we do not chase, but we choose.
Love that.
Don't forget to rate, review, and share Girl Don't Text Him, and for a friend who needs a reminder. And as always, until next time, protect your peace, drink your water, and girl, do not text him if you don't need to. Now, I'm not anti. I want to be clear. But just, girl, don't text him if you feel like it's going to set you back. Until next time.
Peace.
Bye.